The Goodyear Assurance MaxLife 2 versus the Continental TrueContact Tour 54, a showdown between two mileage-focused touring all-season specialists. On one side, the Goodyear Assurance MaxLife 2, a new 2025 tire focused on maximum mileage, durability, and everyday comfort. On the other, the Continental TrueContact 54, also a 2025 release, designed for high mileage efficiency and balanced all-season grip. Let's break down where each tire stands. Throughout this video, the performance metrics are expressed in percentages, with the Goodyear Assurance MaxLife 2 set as the reference point at 100%. This data source comes from TireRack's Touring All-Season Tire Tests. In wet braking, the Continental TrueContact Tour 54 clearly takes the lead. It stops 10 feet shorter, which translates to roughly about a 7% advantage in emergency braking distance. In subjective wet handling, the Continental also scores 6.63 compared to the 6.13 of the Goodyear, giving it about a 2% advantage in driver-rated grip and control. This trend continues in wet handling lap time, where the Continental completes the course in 0.54 seconds, representing another 2% performance advantage. On dry roads, the difference becomes much smaller. In dry braking, the Continental stops 3 feet shorter, translating to about a 2% advantage in stopping distance. However, in subjective dry handling, the Goodyear Assurance MaxLife 2 scores slightly higher, with a 7.25 compared to the 6.94 of the Continental, giving it roughly a 2% advantage in driver-rated handling feel. When it comes to ride refinement, the Goodyear takes a small lead. It scores 8.08 compared to the 7.75 rating for the Continental, translating to about a 2% advantage in overall comfort, noise, and ride quality. Winter conditions are where Continental clearly separates itself. In snow braking, the TrueContact Tour 54 stops 15 feet shorter, representing a 22% advantage in stopping distance. In snow acceleration, the Continental reaches 0 to 12 miles per hour 2.77 feet sooner, which equals to roughly a 9% advantage in traction. In subjective snow handling, the Continental scores 5.5 rating compared to a 4.83 for Goodyear, giving it about a 3% advantage in driver control. Also in measured snow handling lap time, the Continental completes the course 4.65 seconds faster, translating to a 8% performance advantage. On ice braking, the Continental again has a small advantage, stopping 1.2 feet shorter, which equals to roughly a 2% improvement in braking distance. The Continental has a slightly higher UTQG tread wear rating of 840 compared to the 820 for Goodyear, suggesting about a 2% theoretical wear advantage. However, the Goodyear Assurance MaxLife 2 offers a longer mileage warranty, 85,000 miles, versus the 70,000 miles for the Continental, a 21% increase in coverage. When it comes to pricing, in the tested 215/55 R17 size, the Continental is about 17% cheaper compared to the Goodyear. In summary, the Goodyear Assurance MaxLife 2 stands out with its longer 85,000 mile warranty, slightly better ride comfort, and stronger dry handling feel, making it appealing for drivers who prioritize long-term durability and refine everyday driving. On the other hand, the Continental TrueContact 54 delivers stronger wet and winter traction while also being slightly cheaper, giving it a more balanced real-world performance advantage.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.